Hey, once again, guys, this is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Center. In the previous two videos, we were talking about misconceptions about dispatching. The first one was that you need an authority. Freight dispatchers need an authority. That is a misconception. They do not. The second one is it difficult to dispatch? And it is not if you implement certain strategies, knowing where to send your carriers into and out of, building relationships with those same brokers, and you have willing carriers who are willing to go over the road and do their job as a carrier, on time pickup, on time delivery. The third and final misconception in the three misconceptions that I was thinking to present to you guys is dispatchers don't make money, or dispatchers can't make money. So, and that is a misconception in the sense that when we talk about dispatchers and what they charge, what their fees are, there's either a percentage per load or is a flat fee for the week. So let's go to the percentage model, right? If dispatchers are charging on average between 5 and 10%, that's a fair number. Let's say the middle ground is 7%, right? On average, if you can gross your carriers, and remember, we are in a down market right now. The rates are down. Let's be realistic. We are in May 26, 2023, as of this recording, and the rates are down. They're going to start to come back up at some point, but right now they're down. So there was a time when you can average between 8 to 10, maybe even 12 grand gross to the truck per week as a dispatcher or as a truck doing it themselves, right? But if they have a dispatcher doing the work for them, those numbers were possible as well. Right now, you could, if you average 6,000 to 8,000 a week, you're doing pretty well for your gross now to the truck. You're doing pretty well as a dispatcher for your carrier. So let's say that's the ideal, 6 to 8, and you're charging 7% per load, right? So if you grow 6,000 to 8,000, well, 7% of $6,000 is $420, right? Let's do the math. And then 7% of 8,000 to gross. So I'm doing that range, right? That 6 to 8% range. 7% of the $8,000 is $560, right? So if you're doing 420 to 560 gross per week as a dispatcher for one carrier, right? How many carriers do you think by yourself, one man, single independent dispatcher, can you handle by yourself before you have to scale or grow your business and add sub dispatchers to continue to grow your business? What do I mean by that? Well, the same way you dispatch the one carrier, right? You effectively and found them loads consistently. You do it for 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. When it gets to a point where you can no longer do the same level of service and communication for the one that you can for the fifth one, that is when it's time to scale and grow. So let's say that number is 5, right? So if you, I'm going to grab a calculator here. If you take the range was between, what was it, 420 and 560 gross per week for one truck. So what is if you got 5 trucks and you're doing that consistently, 420, and I'm doing calculations, 420 times 5 trucks is 2,100. That's the low end of the range. Remember, you're grossing them 6,000 to 8,000 a week if you can do that, right? And we're in a down market. Keep that in mind. So we're dealing with realistic numbers here. So 5 times 420 is 2,100. On the low end range of the gross, 420 to 560 for you, the dispatcher, right? So now the 560 times 5 trucks per week is 2,800. So as a dispatcher, if you are grossing your one truck 420 to 560 a week for dispatching them per load, right? So now we're talking about at 7%, right? You're doing it at 7%. So remember 7% of 6,000 was 420, 7% of 8,000 was 560. Now, if you're doing 10%, obviously, and that's the max in the range of percentages for dispatcher fees, 5 to 10%, we just chose the middle ground, 7%, because that's a fair number to choose, right? So let's keep it fair, right? 7%, you got one carrier, you're grossing 6 to 8, you on average. So you're grossing, as a dispatcher, you're grossing between $2,100 for one carrier now, $2,100, between $2,100 and $2,800 a week, right? So let's take a middle number of that. Let's say 2,100, 2,800. What's the middle ground? About 2,500 a week, right? For one carrier, you're doing 2,500, right? And you got what? 5 carriers, right? So 2,500 per load. You're grossing. Remember, you're grossing. You're doing 7%. You're grossing 6,000 to 8,000 for one carrier. 7%. So let's do this. Let's scratch all of that. Let's say 6,000 to 8,000. Let's say 7,000. You're grossing 7,000 a week at 7%, right? 7,000 a week at 7%. Let's do some real numbers. So 7,000 a week at 7% is what? 490, right? That you're going to get for that week, because you gross them 7,000 a week. You charge 7%, so you get 490 a week for one carrier. You could do that for 5 carriers. That is 2,450. Okay. Because you're dispatching 5 carriers gross per week. There's 4 weeks in a month. So you multiply that number, 2,450 times 4. Now you got 9,800 gross for the month. We haven't accounted for taxes and anything like that. This is a gross amount. This is not net. Okay. So that's for the month. And then you got 12 months in a year. At 9,800 times 12, that is 117,600. That's you're grossing 6 figures by dispatching 5 carriers at 7%, averaging them per week $7,000. Okay, so now the numbers will fluctuate as you gross them more per week, or as your percentages go up. But I'm just giving you average numbers. Okay, so keep that in mind. So now the question becomes, can dispatchers, the misconception is dispatchers do not make money. So we just did some numbers and showed that dispatchers can make money. So if you make over 6 figures only dispatching 5 trucks, imagine if you had 10 trucks and you had a team and you're scaling your business like that, the numbers can go up. And this isn't a down market, right? Keep that in mind also. So I won't hold you too long on this, but I just wanted to give you the concept that yes, independent freight dispatchers can make money, right? So the misconception is not true. If you put in the work and you do it the right way, you will make money. Okay. This is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, dispatching 101 training for beginners. I will have the information in the description. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you.